Golden Stories Studio presents Paper Ring, a romantic comedy. Chapter 1. Days were filled with students rushing from one classroom to another, carrying books, fixing their hair, and trying to make it before the bell rang. Among them was Ari. And, as usual, she was late. Ari! Faster, her best friend shouted as they ran through the crowded hallway. I'm coming. I'm coming. Ari replied between breaths, laughing as she tried to keep up. Even while running late, Ari somehow looked effortlessly pretty. She was wearing a soft cream-colored sweater paired with blue jeans, her hair perfectly styled and her face glowing. But honestly, no one was surprised. Ari had a morning routine that could compete with a professional beauty schedule. Skincare, hair care, choosing the perfect outfit, and making sure everything looked right before leaving the house was a serious task. You know, one day you might actually arrive early if you spend less time getting ready, her friend always teased. Ari would simply smile. Taking care of myself is important. And she wasn't wrong. The two friends were almost at their classroom when suddenly, Ari stopped walking. Her steps slowed. Because there he was. The person who somehow appeared in her thoughts every single day. Every morning. Every night. Yohan. The mysterious college heartthrob. The boy everyone knew. But no one truly knew. Yohan wasn't arrogant or rude. He wasn't the cold type people often imagined him to be. He was just quiet. Reserved. He kept his circle small and rarely spoke unless he had something to say. Yet somehow he was good at everything. Academics. Sports. Music. Almost everything he touched seemed to turn into success. People admired him from a distance. But Ari had something no one else seemed to notice. The way their eyes always found each other. Almost every day. No matter how crowded the hallway was. No matter how many people surrounded them. Their eyes would always meet. Neither of them spoke. Not once. No introductions. No conversations. Just silent moments that somehow felt louder than words. Ari didn't know why it happened. Was it just coincidence? Or was there something more? She had no answer. All she knew was that every time Yohan looked at her, her heart started beating faster, and a strange warmth spread through her entire body. And today was no different. Standing a few steps away, Yohan looked directly at her. Their eyes met. And this time, he didn't look away. Ari felt her cheeks heat up instantly. Unable to handle the intensity of his gaze, she shyly looked down with a small smile. For a moment, the busy hallway disappeared. It felt like she was the main character of some romantic movie. A soft song playing in the background. The world moving slowly. Why does he make me feel like this? Can someone really start falling for someone without even knowing them? Before Ari could continue living in her imaginary romantic scene. Ari! Her friend's loud voice pulled her back to reality. Ari blinked. Here. She looked around. They were already standing inside the classroom. Apparently, her friend had dragged her there while she was completely lost in her thoughts. Their professor stood in front of the class, arms crossed. So nice of you both to finally join us, the professor said with a sigh. Late again. Ari immediately apologized before quickly taking her seat. But even after the lecture began, she couldn't stop smiling. Because somewhere in the middle of a normal college morning, Yohan had looked at her. And somehow that was enough to make her entire day feel special. The moment lunch break arrived, Ari made her way to the college cafe with her friends. The cafe was always their favorite place. A place filled with laughter, random conversations, gossip, and memories they would probably talk about years later. Now, let me introduce the group. First was Liam, the oldest of the group and a senior at college. Liam was the responsible one, the person everyone went to when they needed advice. He acted like the group's unofficial guardian, even though he loved teasing them more than anyone. Then there was Noah, the sunshine of the group. Noah had the kind of personality that could brighten even the dullest day. His smile was contagious, his energy was endless, and he was always the first person to notice when someone wasn't feeling okay. And then there was Ari and her best friend Maya, the two juniors who brought endless chaos into the group. Ari was the soft-hearted dreamer, while Maya was the one who kept her grounded and made sure she didn't get lost in her own imagination. Together, the four of them were impossible to separate. They spent their lunch break doing what they did best: gossiping. So, Liam leaned forward dramatically, lowering his voice. "Did you hear about the confession that happened near the library yesterday?" Noah's eyes widened immediately. "No way. Tell me everything." Maya grabbed her drink, already invested. "Why do I feel like this is going to be dramatic?" Liam smiled proudly. "Because it is." Ari laughed as Liam exaggerated every little detail of the story. With them, even the most ordinary moments became fun. The whole lunch break passed with jokes, laughter, and endless teasing. By the time classes ended, all four of them were still smiling. After college, they left together, walking along the familiar streets toward home. The evening breeze was gentle, and the roads were filled with students returning after a long day. Ari was listening to Maya talk about something when suddenly, something caught her attention. Across the road, there he was. Yohan. He stood beside his black bike, adjusting his helmet before leaving. Almost as if he felt her gaze, he looked up. Their eyes met. Again, that familiar feeling returned. Ari's heart started racing. But then, something happened that she never expected. Yohan smiled. Not a big smile. Not the kind he showed everyone. Just a small, soft smile. A smile that felt like it belonged only to her. Ari froze. He smiled. He actually smiled at me. For the first time, it wasn't just their usual eye contact. It wasn't another silent moment between strangers. He had smiled. And somehow that tiny smile felt like the biggest thing in the world. Her heart flipped. Butterflies filled her stomach. She wanted to scream. She wanted to tell someone. She wanted to jump around like the main character in a romance movie. But she didn't. Because the moment felt too precious. Like a little secret shared only between them. Before Ari could even smile back properly, Yohan put on his helmet and started his bike. For one last second, their eyes met again. Then he rode away. Ari stood there, watching until he disappeared from sight. "Ari!" Noah's voice pulled her back. She blinked. "You coming, or are you planning to stand there forever?" Maya teased. Ari quickly looked away. "Why, yeah, I'm coming." Liam laughed softly. "You were definitely somewhere else just now." "No, I wasn't," Ari replied quickly. Her friends exchanged amused looks but didn't question her. They continued walking home together. And while they talked about random things, Ari secretly replayed that moment in her mind. Yohan's smile. The way his eyes looked at her. The feeling she had in that one small moment. It lasted only a few seconds. But somehow, it became the happiest part of her entire day. And as she walked home with a smile she couldn't hide, one thought stayed in her heart. Maybe those little moments weren't just coincidences after all. That's it for Chapter 1. How was it? Did you enjoy meeting Ari, Yohan, and their little chaos squad? What do you think that smile meant? Was it just a simple smile or the beginning of something more? Share your theories in the comments. I would love to read them. Don't forget to vote, comment, and follow if you want to continue Ari and Yohan's journey. See you in the next chapter.